Good morning, students. Welcome to classes on agricultural economics. In the last class, we were discussing about price determination of agricultural commodities. When agricultural commodities, when prices of agricultural commodities are determined by market forces of demand and supply, there is high possibility of price volatility in agri market. In order to eliminate price volatility in agri markets, government intervene in agricultural markets. In this video, we will be discussing about one of the government intervention, that is the buffer stock. So in this video, we will be discussing more about buffer stock. A buffer stock is a government plan to stabilize prices in volatile market. We know agricultural markets are volatile markets, and in order to stabilize prices in these markets, government have introduced a buffer stock scheme. A buffer stock is a scheme or a system which buys and stores stocks at the time of good harvest and releases stocks during the time of bad harvest. So during good harvest, there will be excess supply of farm products in the market, and prices of farm product will tend to fall during good harvest. So during these times, government will intervene in the market. Government will purchase and store excess farm products from the market and maintains or stabilizes prices of agricultural products. During the time of bad harvest, there will be scarcity of farm products in the economy or in the market, and there will be food inflation in the economy. Prices will tend to rise in the market. In order to stabilize prices in the market, government will release buffer stock. So a buffer stock is maintained by government in order to stabilize prices in volatile markets. Now let us move on to the mechanism of buffer stock. This graph depicts the mechanism of buffer stock. Quantity is measured on the x-axis and prices of agricultural products on y-axis. Market demand, which is a downward sloping curve, is represented as D, and market supply, which is an upward sloping curve, is represented as S. The interaction between market demand and market supply determines equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. Here, equilibrium price is P2 and equilibrium quantity is Q2. So this is a normal condition. Now let us imagine there is a good harvest in the economy. When there is good harvest, there will be excess supply of uh, farm products in the market. So market supply will shift, or market supply curve will shift from S to S1. So our new supply curve is S1. And interaction between the new supply curve S1 and demand curve D determines new equilibrium price as P3 and new equilibrium quantity as Q3. So new equilibrium price P3 is well below the target price or old equilibrium price P2. In order to stabilize prices in the market, government will intervene in the market. So government will purchase farm products, surplus farm products from the market and add to its stock. When excess supply of farm products are removed from agri markets, the supply curve shifts back to S. So S1 shifts back to S. And equilibrium price is re-established at P2. So during good harvest, government absorbs excess supply of farm products from the market and maintains or stabilizes price. Now suppose there is a bad harvest. So when there is bad harvest, there will be food inflation in the economy. There will be scarcity of food in the economy, and this will lead to food inflation. So supply will shift to the left side, and new supply curve will be S2. So supply curve shifts from S to S2. So new equilibrium price is P1, which is well above the target price P2. So in order to stabilize prices in the market, government will intervene in the market. Government will release its buffer stock and increases supply of farm products in the market. So supply curve S2 shifts back to S, and equilibrium price P2 is re-established. So in the time of bad harvest, government will release the stock that it have in hand, and government will increase the supply of farm products in the market, and thereby stabilizes the prices of agricultural commodities in the market. So this is how a buffer stock mechanism operates. Now let us move on to the buffer stock in India. Buffer stock was first introduced in 1969 under fourth five-year plan. So in India, buffer stock was first introduced under fourth five-year plan. And the government set up Food Corporation of India under Food Corporation Act 1964. And initially, FCI was given full responsibility to maintain buffer stock in India. But currently, now NAFED, SFAC, and FCI on behalf of government procure and manage buffer stock. Now let us focus on the basic objectives of buffer stock. First objective, buffer stock is maintained to ensure availability of food grains in case of natural calamities. So, in case of natural calamities like drought, flood, etc., there will be scarcity of food products or farm products in the market. In order to solve this scarcity, or in order to reduce food inflation in the economy, government will release buffer stock. Government will release buffer stocks through fair price shops. So first objective of buffer stock is to maintain or to ensure availability of food grains in case of natural calamities. Now let us move on to the second objective, to solve problems caused by seasonal production. We know agricultural production is seasonal. Farmers usually depend on monsoon. So a monsoon failure may cause uh, scarcity of food products. So problems caused by seasonal production can be solved by releasing buffer stock. Another important objective of buffer stock is to maintain price stability. So in case of good harvest as well as bad harvest, buffer stock can stabilize prices of agricultural commodity market. So another important objective of buffer stock is to maintain price stability. Yet another objective of buffer stock is to ensure stability of farm income. So when prices fluctuates in the market, farmers' income will be affected. So buffer stock, so maintaining buffer stock can ensure stability of farm income, or stability of farmers' income. Last objective is to safeguard the interest of poor. When there is bad harvest, there is possibility of food inflation, and this will affect poor people. So in order to safeguard interest of poor people, buffer stock buffer stock is maintained. So buffer stock helps to safeguard the interest of poor people. So when buffer stock is maintained, poor people will get farm products at fair prices, even in the time of bad harvest. Now let us move on to the advantages of buffer stock. Buffer stock helps to maintain farmers' income. Buffer stock ensures price stability in the economy. And when price stability is there, then farmers will be having a stable income. So buffer stock helps to maintain farmers' income. Second advantage of buffer stock is it increases investment in agriculture. So buffer stock maintains price stability in the economy. When there is price stability, farmers' income is stable. And when farmers have stable income, they will invest more in agriculture. They will invest more in their farm. So buffer stock increases investment in agriculture. Another important advantage of buffer stock is that it reduces food inflation. So buffer stock maintains or ensures price stability, and when prices are stable, uh, consumers consumers will get farm products at fair prices, and this will reduce food inflation in the market. Now, last point, it helps to maintain food supplies and avoid shortages. So during shortages, buffer stocks will be released by government through fair price shops. So, buffer stock will maintain food supplies and avoid shortages. So, these are the main advantages of buffer stock. Now, let us move on to the problems of buffer stock. Cost of buying excess supply could become a burden for the government. So, maintaining buffer stock may be a burden or might become a burden for government. So, government have to spend more on maintaining excess supply. So, government may require to increase taxes. So, maintaining buffer stock may become a burden for government. Second problem, minimum prices and buffer stock could encourage oversupply uh, of farm products. So farmers, if they feel that whatever they produce will be bought by government or bought by the consumers in the market, then all time there will be oversupply by the farmers. Another important problem of buffer stock is perishable commodities or perishable goods cannot be stored in buffer stock. Perishable commodities like fresh milk, meat are not able to stored in buffer stock. Yet another problem of buffer stock is high administration cost.